For the first time since 1999, the New York Knicks are advancing to the NBA Finals, where they await the Oklahoma City Thunder and the San Antonio Spurs. We're now tied at 2 games apiece, playing Game 5 tomorrow. Hell of a game from the Knicks. They ended up winning by about 40, and so yeah, let's get into my first ever video. Honestly, I think the game really started good. I think it was a competitive game to start, but Cleveland just genuinely never led for a single second. It was New York from the very beginning. I like what the Cavaliers tried to do, adding Max Strus into the starting lineup, just because he is like a major spark plug for them coming off the bench. So if they add him into the starting lineup, maybe that'll spark something. But it did not work. I mean, he played okay, but nobody on the team came to play, and it was evident that there was just a lack of effort from Cleveland. There were multiple plays where they were just jogging back, and I think New York just wanted it more, and it showed. Donovan Mitchell is about the only one who really showed up, and I mean he had 31 points, 4 assists, and a rebound, but somehow he was the only one who had more than like 15 points, I believe. Next most was like Evan Mobley with 15, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and I'm not even going to count James Harden having 12 points. He shot 25%. So yes, he had 12 points, but he was genuinely just awful. James Harden in the playoffs continues to write that narrative that's been around him for a bit, that he chokes, for lack of a better word. He chokes in the playoffs, and he's never going to beat the allegations. Whether it was this year, last year, the year before that, his time in Houston, his time in OKC when he was coming off the bench, he wasn't great. I think this was his last chance at a ring, and they blew it. The whole team blew it. I mean, Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, they need to be better as far as like just handling the paint. They got out-rebounded significantly throughout the entire game. They keep in mind the Cleveland has 2 guys that are nearly 7 foot. Karl-Anthony Towns is rarely on the floor at the same time as Mitchell Robinson because they're both used so differently. So when you have guys that you can play Evan Mobley and Jared Allen on the floor at the same time, and you're still getting out-rebounded by that much, that is bad. They needed to show a little more effort. They needed to show that they wanted it, and they didn't. Just a lot of stuff that I saw throughout the game. New York had very good ball movement and player movement. They were running a lot of like screens and passing the ball very well, and often it led to open 3-point shooters, or Jalen Brunson or Karl-Anthony Towns could just get a drive right to the basket, and a lot of easy buckets. And it showed with the field goal percentages too. New York shot 49% from the field, 44% from 3. And just to go a little more into that 3-point shooting, I think Landry Shamet and Deuce McBride really showed up the last couple of games. Even going back to Game 4 in Philly, Deuce McBride 7 of 9 from 3. Landry Shamet Game 1, 3 of 3 from 3. He went over 90% on the series. That is insane efficiency. And Jalen Brunson just continuing to do his thing. He had 38 in the first game, kind of cooled off a little bit in games 2, 3, and 4, but game 2 he had like 14 assists, playoff career high, and the team is just so balanced out that Jalen Brunson doesn't need to have 38 points a night to be effective. We saw it again in game 2, 14 assists, but Josh Hart, 26 points, playoff career high. Karl-Anthony Towns averaged a double-double in the series. New York came out efficient in the first quarter. They shot about 58%, and they had a big paint presence. They had like 20 points in the paint or something just in the first quarter. And then just even going into the second quarter, third quarter, where usually Mike Brown will rest Jalen Brunson for a lot, the Knicks continued to just pour it on when Jalen Brunson was on the bench, and a lot of that had to do with Karl Anthony Towns just really getting unlocked as a playmaker, where they'll kind of use him similar to Nikola Jokic, where he'll just start at the top of the key from the 3-point line, and he can just pick it apart, either like get a nice pass across the lane, or he can do it himself. He is talented enough where he can shoulder the load of an offense. We saw it like in the regular season. We saw it last year. Hey, we even saw it in Minnesota, where he was a dominant offensive player. Him and Jalen Brunson, they are enough to, in my opinion, I think they are enough with the team around them to win an NBA championship this year. And it was just, it was just from the very beginning. It was an insanely one-sided game. I mean, at halftime, New York was 26-3 in fast break points in their advantage, and I mean, Cleveland came out from the half. They came into the third quarter and they made a bit of a run. I don't want to say it was close, but they definitely tried to make a run. They tried to put a little pressure on the Knicks. They went on like a 7-0, 10-0 run, and eventually the Knicks just figured out what they were trying to do, and they beat them. And just, again, much better offense all game, much better effort all game from the Knicks. They wanted it. They were getting on the floor, getting loose balls down, and they were up 25, and they were playing like it was a tie game. And just to go back to Landry Shamet a bit, this was, in my opinion, a bit of a coming out party for him in this series. Like I said before, 90% plus shooting from three, and his defense just makes him into a really versatile two-way player. Like he was locking up Donovan Mitchell as a bench guy. I think that has a lot to do with why I think this team can win a championship. They have a deep bench. Like, yes, they have a very talented starting five, but this is just off the bench. They got Landry Shamet, Miles McBride, Mitchell Robinson. Hell, they can go Jose Alvarado, Jordan Clarkson. I mean, Tyler Kolek, even in the last couple minutes, he was still doing some good things. And we saw it in the regular season that he is capable of being a player in the NBA. I wouldn't say with this group that he should get playoff minutes, because I mean, it's working what they got right now. But this is a team that can easily go 8, 9 players deep, and they can still just blow teams out. And at the end of the game, Jalen Brunson, I think deservingly so, ended up getting the Larry Bird Trophy to become the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, and it was by unanimous decision. Not a single vote against Jalen Brunson getting it. That is incredible. I think he's deserving of it. Without him, this team would probably not be in the Eastern. This team would not be in the NBA Finals if it wasn't for Jalen Brunson. So that's about it for the game. Now, I wonder. You have to wonder after this year if Cleveland's playoff window is closed to win an NBA Finals. Donovan Mitchell has 1 year left on his contract. James Harden's contract is expired. Dean Wade's contract is expired. So now, are they going to keep Harden and Wade? I would have to think Harden's going to go, so they need to get another point guard. Would have been nice if they kept Darius Garland. Because personally, I just think Darius Garland's a better two-way player than James Harden. Yes, Harden's better offensively, but Darius Garland isn't a complete liability on defense. And we saw it in Game 1, where the Knicks just completely rose from the grave like The Undertaker. And the main way they did it was just going after James Harden for like 8 minutes in a row, and he couldn't defend himself enough where they had another guy to pick on. It was just pick and roll at James Harden, and eventually he's not good enough where he can be a two-way player. And Darius Garland's a lot younger than he is. He could have probably been a better player this series, and it's just, I really don't like I think looking back, the Clippers won the James Harden trade to get rid of him for Darius Garland, and then also Dean Wade's contract is expiring. I'd have to imagine they'll probably extend him, but then even next year, when not James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, when his contract expires next year, is he gonna want to play for Cleveland next year if they waste his career another year? Because I mean, they have tried to get him a good supporting cast. I think Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, those are two very good bigs that you can build around. But the bench is so important. We saw that this year. The Knicks improved tremendously in the playoffs once they got a bench. Because last year, when Jalen Brunson wasn't on the floor, it was Cameron Payne running the offense. He's in Philly now, and I literally just learned that yesterday. That is that is how bad the bench was for the Knicks. It was Deuce McBride and it was Cameron Payne. And then I think towards the middle of the Pacers series is when Tom Thibodeau started experimenting with the bench and playing Landry Shamet and DeLon Wright. Like Mitchell Robinson's more. I think Mitchell Robinson is on the bench with the Knicks, but he could probably be a starting center in the NBA if he chose to leave. So he's also very valuable off the bench. And I think it's important that they keep Mitchell Robinson if slash when his contract expires. So because him and Towns, they are both very good quality centers, and they can both they work very well off of each other. Mitchell Robinson's a great defensive anchor, and he can block a lot of shots. He's going to get a lot of rebounds, and Karl Anthony Towns is another great rebounder, but he has the offensive upside that Mitchell Robinson doesn't. Like if I see Mitchell Robinson trying a 3-pointer, I might actually die. Karl Anthony Towns can make multiple in a row. We saw he started the game in game 3 and in game 4. He started the game just launching 28, 29 footers and just draining it, starting the game hot. So I think it's important for them to keep both Towns and Robinson if they want to have a longer championship window. And also having valuable depth guys again, just like I said before, Shamit, Alvarado, McBride, Clarkson, like they can go 9 or 10 players deep, and they have a lot of different guards that can do a lot of different things. So that's it for Cleveland and what I think the Knicks can do in the NBA Finals. So I think now the thing that New York has to do, they have to start getting ready for either Oklahoma City or San Antonio. And I have a lot of faith in them to be able to take care of it. Whether or not Oklahoma City gets the refs on their side with Shea just falling to the ground 90% of
Do
the time,
something!
but they're probably going to have to deal with it. It's gotten them this far, and still nothing has changed. So don't exactly see a reason why it would change in the NBA Finals. But just but even that aside, Oklahoma City's a very talented team. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is a talented scorer. Chet Holmgren, what's his name? Isaiah Hartenstein's a good facilitator, and they are just as deep as any other team in the league. AJ Mitchell, what's his name? Jared McCain, Jalen Williams. They have another Jalen Williams. So they're another team that can go 8, 9, 10 players deep. Alex Caruso as well, a very solid backup to Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. So that's it. That is my first ever video.